Hello and welcome to the Football Dudes Extranomical Fantasy Show. He's Dave, I'm Casey, and it's time to talk a little fantasy, baby.
Casey, can you live this fantasy life?
It's not reality, it's just a fantasy. Ow!
Yeah, there is some reality out there, unfortunately, though, Casey.
Yeah, today, Jet fan and most of the NFL watching world are wishing it was not reality, but the harshness sunk in today as the Aaron Rodgers era in New York came to an end just 4 plays into Monday Night Football. Rodgers
Yikes.
tore his Achilles tendon and will miss the remainder of the 2023 season. Dave, react.
Wow. What an incredible bummer after the
Mhm.
offseason that we've had leading into this and that Monday night moment, and then 4 snaps into it it's just a gut punch, man.
Oh, no,
Devastating.
dude. He rolled out there, did the little doobie celebration with Garrett Wilson. I'm like, oh, I'm fired up for this. And then, yeah, just
Man.
robbery. It just sucks on every level, even if you're not a
Yeah.
Jet fan, just for the
Yeah, just a
whole
football
NFL.
fan. Yeah.
Yeah.
We lose out.
And, we'll dive a little bit more into this on the Trend Zone later in the week. So make sure you subscribe so you do not miss any of the sweet, sweet football dudes goodness. Dave, survival, three
Yes.
strikes. Are you alive, my friend?
I am. I survived week one in the Survivor Three Strikes pool. I had Baltimore. They had me squirming a little bit in the first half there, but I was quite confident and they pulled it through.
Yeah, I stayed in that area and I went with the Washington Commandos, and it was a little different for me. I was squirming the whole time.
Yeah.
3 turnovers for Washington, including a lineman sack, fumble, touchdown. It was not looking good, but the Commandos figured out a way to win that game. So I live with all my strikes still sitting in my pocket.
All right, folks. The most popular pick was my pick, the Baltimore Ravens, to beat the Houston Texans. The most popular incorrect pick was Minnesota beating Tampa Bay. Ooch, ow, hurt after week one, right?
Shake and bake, baby. And the most
That's right.
popular pick heading into next week, the Buffalo Bills at Las Vegas Raiders. Woo!
That's a tough one, Casey. But right now, I'm kind of leaning away from that one a little bit because maybe it's my Raider hatred or whatever. But I'm gonna go with the whoever's playing Arizona, even though that team is a team that got whooped 40-0. The New York Giants feel like they're gonna bounce back and find a way to get that W and beat the Arizona Cardinals.
I was gonna try to go with that too. Maybe I'll get
I
there,
don't know.
but it was sketchy, man. That was totally sketchy. You know what I'm thinking? I hate doing Thursday night, but I might just go ahead and jump out on that one. The Eagles hosting the Vikings. If the
Oh.
Eagles win, I stay alive, and if they lose, I still win. Eh?
Vikings go down or lose. Eagles go down.
Yeah, I'll take it. All right, Dave, let's go do our fantasy go back starts of the week. This is where we go back and look at our lineups. And man, if we could have made a change, would it have made a difference in a win or loss? Who do you got?
Yeah, it would have made a difference, Casey, as I did
Oh,
take a loss. And if I would have put in Goff instead of Prescott at quarterback, that would have given me 9.7 more points, and I would have comfortably got the W. Unfortunately, I did the logical thing and played Dak. They just didn't need Dak. He could just stand back there and let the rest of the team win.
yeah, you did. It's like, oh, they're going to be up, 16-0 right off the bat. Who'd have thought? Yeah, Dave, I ended up crushing Bolt Action by 33 points, but I could
Ooh.
have crushed him by 36 points had I played J.K. Dobbins instead of Kenneth Walker.
Ooh, okay. Well, that's nitpicking there, Casey.
Yeah, but I like those points. All right, it is time for Total Fantasy Domination. Dave, give me a quarterback.
This one's personal, Casey, as it
Oh,
was to Tagovailoa against my Chargers. Unbelievable passing performance for
oh,
Tagovailoa. 466 yards, 3 touchdowns. He did fumble and he did throw a pick, 5 rushing yards on top of that. But what a performance, man.
wow.
He's just slicing and dicing. Wow.
Yeah, he looked good out there getting rid of the ball
Sure did.
quickly. And we're bringing it over to the Foul Boys. Help me get that W. We're talking about Aaron Jones for the Packers, 41 rush yards and a TD, 86 receiving yards and a touchdown. Went out late with that gimpy hamstring. He says he's going to be okay. Got to monitor that moving forward in the week. As I already mentioned, I had J.K. Dobbins, and he is done for the season. But we'll get that in a minute. Dave, you want to talk about the receivers?
Yeah, somebody was on the receiving end of those passes from Tua. It was Tyreek Hill. Had an amazing day on his way to his 2,000-yard season, 215 yards and two
Ugh.
touchdowns for Hill. He was unstoppable.
Yeah, man, putting on a clinic out there. And then at tight end, Hunter Henry, 56 receiving yards and a touchdown. And he had that sweet ass one-handed grab to get the first down to keep that drive going.
That's right.
Unfortunately, they couldn't beat those stupid Eagles. And Dave, we don't normally talk about kickers, and we rarely talk about defense, but it's a special occasion, dude. My Dallas Cowboys, Foul Boys defense, 44 points in fantasy, 0 points given up, 171 yards, 2 touchdowns, 7 sacks, 3 turnovers.
That's nuts, dude.
Yeah.
Wow.
Nice
What a
opening
performance.
night.
Woo!
I know. Too bad. Hopefully, we can save a little of that moving forward.
Yeah.
Maybe. I don't know. Hopefully, maybe that's what they're doing all year. That's what I'm hoping for. Anyways, Dave. All right, we run our league through NFL.com. Give the peoples the layout of the land of our league. That's a lot of alliteration. Lovely.
Wow. 12-team league, no PPR, no flex, 3 wide receivers, 2 running backs, 6 punts for a touchdown, a TD for the quarterback, any way he gets it, right? And only 5 bench spots. So it's really, really tough on the bench. And also our waiver claim, Casey, if you have a successful waiver claim, then your team goes to the back of the list. If you don't take a waiver claim in that given week, your team incrementally can work its way up to the top. So it's strategic to go ahead and not take a waiver wire each week unless you really need one. You could wait for the free agency and save that waiver until it gets to the top where you really need it.
Yeah, that strategery will get you extranomical results. All right, Dave, let's go ahead and start with the Glamour Boys. What do you got for the peoples at quarterback?
All right, well, at quarterback in our league, unbelievably, Tua Tagovailoa is a free agent. I can promise you that he will be snatched up ASAP after last week's performance. That was not a fluke. If he's upright and not concussed, he is dynamite. So he's my number one go-to guy right now.
Yeah, how about Jordan Love, baby? I need to see it against a little better competition. But last week, 245 yards and 3 touchdowns. It's got the nice connection with Romeo Doubs out there. So if you had Aaron Rodgers, maybe you jump on the Love train. Wouldn't that be ironic? Don't you think?
He took a lot of beatings during the preseason about not really being able to play and all this. So pretty nice performance out of Jordan Love. Let's see if he can keep it going.
All right, Dave, what do you got at running back?
Yeah, there's a handful of them that are really tasty up there, and that's pretty rare. So it's a rarefied situation when we're talking about a nice little dose of running backs to look at. But how about Joshua Kelly for the Chargers? He was on the field almost as much as Austin Eckler, who has a little bit of an ankle issue. Don't think it'll be a big issue, but Kelly is a big part of the game plan there. He had 91 yards and a touchdown, over 5 yards a carry, only a couple less touches than Eckler. So they're really trying to balance that out. So look for Kelly to continue to have that big of a role.
Yeah, and I mentioned JK. He's done for the year. Justice Hill, not a lot of yards, but he got the red zone touches. So he's got 2 touchdowns there. He'll have an increased role. Gus Edwards, he'll have a role there. And even Melvin Gordon might be involved. So 3 Ravens running backs. You rolling the dice there. But Justice Hill looked pretty sweet last week.
Yep.
All right. What about wide receiver?
Whew, okay, let's talk wide receiver. You know what? I mean, in the absence of Cooper Kupp in Los Angeles, they got to throw it to somebody. Tutu Atwell and Puka Nacua both had pretty nice performances. You don't know, which one's going to get it, but somebody's got to get the football. They've got they're throwing the ball around there with Stafford, so maybe one of those dudes is a good look.
Yeah, what about Kendrick Bourne for the Patriots, man? He had 2 touchdowns last week. The way that Miami offense looks, Patriots are going to have to throw the ball quite a bit to hang in that thing. So you might want to check out Kendrick Bourne there and Zay Jones. It's going to be hit or miss for these Jags because there's a lot of mouths to feed, but he had a nice touchdown laid out and got that thing done. in that victory over the
Another
Colts.
one I like though, Casey, Rashid Shaheed for the Saints.
Yes.
I think he's going to be a real go-to guy for Derek Carr. He got 89 yards and a touchdown last week, so good start for him. Available in our league, so probably yours too.
No, right on. What about toy ends, Dave? Someone
All
toy
right.
like a toiger.
Well, I could go either of the double H's, but I'm going to take Donald Parham of the Chargers. He was targeted in a goal to go scenario twice, one time for a touchdown. So he's got the score and 21 yards. The other one, a little better pass would have got him a second touchdown. And man, if your tight end gets 2 touchdowns, woo, that's gravy. But it's going to be a little hit and miss with Parham, but he does look to be a big part of the game plan, especially down there in the red zone.
Yeah, and there might be players, the people out there like more, or maybe even you like more, Dave, but there's no one I like more than Patrick Henry, John Sarsippius Fryermoot.
Okay.
He only had 3 yards last week, but he did have a touchdown. So look for him to be more involved in that Steelers game plan, especially with Deontay Johnson out for at least a couple of weeks.
Good point. Yeah.
Boom. Dave,
right.
that was so fast. How fast do we get through this show? You know what we need? We need some questions from the people. You guys hit us up with questions. We got answers. You can get us on Facebook or Twitter or even footballdudesla@gmail.com. You get to us and we'll get back to you.
Sweet. Sounds
and
good.
Make sure you subscribe to the Trend Zone podcast. Each and every week of the NFL season, we talk all the top trending stories and preview all of the games from the upcoming week.
Yep, that is the Trend Zone podcast, available on Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, wherever you get your podcast, or just head on over to footballdudes.com. It's all there for you. That's going to do it.
All right, we'll be back in just a couple short days, maybe even just a day to bring you that Trend Zone. So like and subscribe. And remember, we're not the suits that talk football. We're the dudes that know football. For Dave, I'm Casey. We are the football dudes.